Okay, tomorrow your quiz will look just like this,
My quiz.
but different, right? So you can use this on the quiz. You can use your packet on the quiz. You'll be turning in this, your quiz, and the first two sections in your packet, 3-1 and 3-2. All right. So right now, go ahead and be sure your name is on there, since you are going to turn it in tomorrow. The absolute value. It's the positive value of any of these numbers. Why is it the positive value? Because the absolute value is just telling us the distance between that number and 0. And as we learned, our distance is always positive, right? Brooklyn, right? Focus here. Now, if you noticed, all of these are addition, all of these are subtraction. Addition, once things are addition, Brooklyn, can you either throw away or take care of what you're playing with right now? Because it's distracting me, and I guarantee it's distracting me. So when we add, our rules are when our signs are the same, we find the sum, which means we add the numbers. Now, whatever our bigger absolute value is, that is how we determine our answer's sign. You have a question? Okay, so with our addition problems, they are eventually going to follow the same rules. Our subtraction problems, we're actually going to turn into addition problems, right? So if you are not following along right now, you should be. So here, our signs are the same, so we're finding the sum. What's 10 plus 4? 14. And our bigger absolute value is our answer sign. So in this case, it's going to be negative. If you wanted to draw it out, remember you could draw out 10 negatives and 4 negatives. We would then have a total of 14 negatives. Now, our next rule, when our signs are different, what do we need to do? No. We have to, no, guys. We're talking about addition rules. We have to find the difference. Our signs are different here, right? We have a negative and a positive. So we always take big minus little. So what is 21 minus 14? 7. Now we have to decide if our answer is negative or positive.
Because the negative number is bigger.
Good, our negative absolute value is bigger, so we have a negative answer. Now, are our signs the same or different for number 7? They're different, so again, we're finding the difference. What's 15 minus 9? 6. And it is negative. Good. Tomorrow, can you use a calculator? No, you may not. Here, are our signs the same or different? Different, so I find the difference. What's 8 minus 6? 2. And in this case, our bigger absolute value is actually positive, so it's going to stay positive. Now, signs are the same or different?
5 positive.
Our signs are different, so again, I have to find the difference. 11 minus 6 is 5. And it's positive because my bigger absolute value. Okay, now, if we can do addition, we can do subtraction, but we have to do one thing first. We have to make it addition. So we have to keep, switch, change, or keep, switch, switch. And then after that, we need to follow our addition rules, which we just wrote down. So if we keep, switch, switch, our signs are the same here, and we're finding the sum. So what's 4 plus 8? If I keep, switch, switch here, are our signs the same or different? different, because I have a -15 and a +3, so I'm taking big minus little. What's 15 minus 3? 12, and then I have to decide, is it positive or negative? It's negative because my absolute value, my greater absolute value is negative. So don't forget to add your negative sign. Okay, I keep, switch, switch. Are my signs the same or different? I have a -2 and a +19, so they're different. So I'm again finding the difference. What is 19 minus 2?
17.
And is it positive or negative? Good, because my bigger number is positive. Think you're getting it. All right. These are the ones that look a little bit weird because when we switch, we also have to switch this sign. We have to add the opposite. Now, are our signs the same or different? I have a -1 and a -19. So it's going to be negative what? 20, because I added the 1 and the 19. Right? You can think about it as a number line, but you have to remember that you're changing opposite. I know that's a little bit tricky. Now this one, keep, change, opposite, keep, change, switch, or keep, switch, switch. We change it to an addition problem, we're really adding a negative, so our signs are different. So we're saying 8 minus 4, because that's our difference,
Is -4.
and it's going to be negative. Good. Okay. This is the bulk of what you were learning about these two sections. So this is the most important part. Now, there's just a short little question, 2 questions with some words in it. The temperature is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just gonna write it down.
Can I do this?
If the weatherman predicts the temperature will drop 15, isn't that just minus 15?
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. So I'm writing down the 10 and then I'm minusing 15. Well, I would probably rewrite this, keep, switch, switch. So now my signs are the same or different.
It's just negative.
They're different, so I would find the difference. 15 minus 10 is 5, and in this case, my bigger number is negative. So -5, what? What will the temperature be? -5, no, just degrees is fine. -5 degrees. You can say Fahrenheit if you
Just
want.
extra credit.
You never know. You just never know. Elena began a hike at an elevation of -34 feet. So this one always helps me to think of all the way down to -34. I like to draw a picture for this one. She ended her hike, so this is her starting. She ended her hike at an elevation of 145 feet. So is that below 0 or above? Above. So this is going to go way up to 145. It says find her change in elevation from the beginning to the end of her hike. Well, if you have drawn the picture, you would see that you have to add this amount plus this amount. So you might have said 34 plus 145. And that would give you 179 feet. Or there's 2 other ways you could have done it. You found the absolute value of the difference. So 145 minus a -34, which is also to the absolute value of -34 minus 145. Either way, this is the absolute value when you switch of 179, which is 179. And this, it's not parentheses, these are straight bars, just like they were up here. Those are absolute value bars. These right here are parentheses. And this is equal to the absolute value of, in this case, it's getting more negative. So negative 179, which is still 179. Because we know our distance is never negative.
I'm so confused. I didn't do.
What are you so confused?
I did negative 34 and then I just keep switch. So it was minus and then negative 125. And then it's
So it was a negative. You just changed the sign. You didn't do it right. You showed work for, if you would subtract, why would you subtract a negative there? It's not negative 145, it's positive. If you subtracted a negative, your signs are different, you'd be finding the difference, but it would not be 170. So essentially you got lucky. So you might want to show different work so that you don't just rely on getting lucky tomorrow. All right, so you can do this one of two ways. Remember they had you combine like ones. Here they're already combined, so your negatives you can find the sum of. So you'd have negative 32 plus 15. When our signs are different, we find the difference. So you would say 32 minus 15. I would borrow because I can't take 5 from 2. So I have 7, 2 minus 1, 17. But is it positive or negative? Negative because my bigger number is negative. So negative 17 here for number 17. Now here, if you wanted to combine your positives first, remember we can rewrite it as 18 plus 5 plus a negative 12. What are you confused about? Are you still stuck on number 16?
Yeah.
You put a negative 149 or 145 feet. Why? Do you see a negative 145 in number 16 anywhere? No, you just made that up. So had you actually solved the problem you wrote out correctly, you would have been finding the difference. You wrote out this problem. You wrote out negative 34. Throw it away, please. Negative 30. This is a sidebar. This was a mistake that we're just looking at and why it's a mistake. You wrote out a negative 34 minus a negative 145. And then you switched. Now your signs are different, so you should have been finding the difference. Because this is actually 111, which is not correct, right? Ish. All right, so make sure you're using the numbers that they're giving us.
So I can put this here, the 34 to its actual value.
So you need to either write out this, because this is how we figured it out by showing the picture. Or you found the difference with one minus the other or one minus the other. It doesn't matter what order you put them in if you're finding the absolute value of them. That's what we talked about. All right, back to 18. So I was putting my positives together. Well, 18 plus 5 is 23 plus a negative 12. Well, really, this is the same thing as 23 minus 12, which is 11. So you guys got?
Yep.
So 11 and a negative 17. Please don't turn it in until tomorrow, but please bring it with you tomorrow. So tomorrow, you're gonna have your packet, first 2 sections, your practice quiz, and you're gonna take your quiz. So you're gonna turn those 3 things in tomorrow. Make sure they're getting done. Make sure your pixel art review is done. It's good for you to do it tonight rather than wait till after your quiz, because it's good review for the quiz, right? So get those things done.